Most American yards are not failing because people ignore them. The beds are edged, the grass is trimmed, someone is clearly spending weekends out there, yet the whole garden still feels slightly unfinished, like a room with furniture but no walls. And in most cases, the missing piece is not another tray of annuals. It is structure. A garden needs one plant that keeps working after the flowers fade, after the season shifts, and even after the first cold nights arrive. Annuals bring quick color, but they disappear. Perennials return, but many vanish completely in winter. Shrubs are different. A good shrub gives the planting a permanent frame, so everything around it suddenly looks planned instead of random. Today, I am showing you 5 shrubs that deserve space in the ground right now. Each one earns its place across more than one season. Each one also comes with the mistake that quietly ruins its performance and the simple fix that saves you months of disappointment. And pay close attention to shrub number 3, because experienced gardeners use it constantly, while most beginners walk right past it. Drop your USDA zone in the comments below right now. I will be calling out specific zones as we go. Shrub 1 is Panicle hydrangea, and it earns the first spot because it solves a problem most flowering shrubs never solve. It gets better as the season goes on. The flower heads usually open creamy white in midsummer, then begin shifting as cooler nights arrive. By late summer, that white softens into pink, and by September or October, many varieties hold a deeper blush without you doing a thing. That color change is not caused by soil pH the way many people expect with big leaf hydrangeas. With Panicle hydrangeas, it is mainly a seasonal response, influenced by maturity, sunlight, and cooler temperatures. No bluing product, no complicated adjustment. Your only job is to leave the blooms alone long enough to enjoy the transformation. Good varieties make the choice easier. Limelight is the bold architectural option, often reaching 6 to 8 feet, so it belongs where it has breathing room. Little Lime gives you the same feeling in a smaller 3 to 5 foot plant for tighter beds. Pinky Winky is the dramatic one, with white tips above older flowers that deepen pink from the base upward. The mistake is planting it like a shade hydrangea. The word hydrangea tricks people into thinking it wants protection all day. Panicle hydrangea is different. Give it at least 6 hours of sun. And in cooler climates, closer to 8 is better. In too much shade, stems stretch, flowers shrink, and the plant loses the strong shape that makes it valuable. Prune in late winter or very early spring before new growth takes over. Remove weak stems and cut last year's growth back by about 1/3 to encourage sturdier branching and bigger flower heads. Hardy in zones 3 through 8, this is a reliable flowering shrub for beginners. Shrub 2 is Ninebark, and it may be the most overlooked workhorse in American yards. That is surprising because this native North American shrub brings structure, color, wildlife value, and winter interest with almost no drama. Ninebark handles the kind of conditions that make fussier shrubs sulk: heavy clay, damp spring soil, dry summer stretches, poor fertility, and sudden cold snaps. After its late spring flowers fade, the seed clusters become useful food for small birds such as goldfinches and chickadees. So this is not just a pretty filler plant. It actually supports the living system around the garden. The modern foliage varieties are the reason to pay attention. Diablo develops deep burgundy leaves that can look nearly black in strong sun. Dart's Gold goes bright chartreuse, giving you a sharp contrast against darker plants. Tiny Wine keeps the same burgundy drama in a compact 3 to 4 foot form, which makes it easier to fit near walkways, patios, or smaller foundation beds. Then, when winter strips the leaves away, the peeling bark shows layers of cinnamon, tan, and copper. The mistake is planting dark-leaved Ninebark in too much shade. Burgundy types need sun to hold that rich color. In shade, they drift toward dull purple-green and lose their whole purpose. Dart's Gold is slightly different. In hot zones 7 and 8, a little afternoon shade can prevent scorching. Prune by removing the oldest stems at ground level each spring. Or, every 4 to 5 years, cut the whole plant back to about 12 inches. It rebounds fast. Hardy in zones 3 through 7. Shrub 3 is Weigela, and this is the one experienced gardeners keep using because it delivers impact without needing constant attention. Beginners often overlook it because they remember the older green-leaved shrubs with a brief flush of pink flowers in older neighborhoods. Those plants were useful, but the newer varieties are far more interesting. Wine and Roses is the classic example. It leaves out with deep burgundy foliage in spring, then covers itself in hot pink flowers in early summer. For a few weeks, the contrast is almost unreal. Bright blooms against leaves so dark they can read as black from a distance. After flowering, the shrub does not disappear visually. It keeps that dark foliage working as a backdrop until fall. Midnight Wine gives you the same mood in a much smaller plant, often under 2 feet, which makes it useful in containers, tight borders, or the front of a sunny bed. Spilled wine grows wider than tall, creating a low mound that looks deliberate instead of messy. All of these need full sun. In partial shade, burgundy foliage fades toward olive green, and the plant loses the drama you planted it for. Now, here is the mistake that costs gardeners an entire year of flowers. Weigela blooms on old wood. That means the flower buds you enjoy in June were already formed on stems grown the previous summer. If you prune it hard in early spring, you cut off the buds before they ever open. The correct timing is immediately after flowering, usually late June or early July. Shorten the stems that just bloomed by about 1/3, and remove a few older stems if the center is crowded. Then leave it alone. The plant will spend the rest of summer growing the wood that carries next year's flowers. Get that timing right, and Weigela becomes reliable. Get it wrong, and you wait. Hardy in zones 4 through 8. If this is helping, tap subscribe before we move on. YouTube does not reliably keep sending gardening advice from channels you ignore. This channel focuses on zone-specific, practical choices that prevent one wrong cut or one wrong planting spot from costing you an entire season. Subscribe now so the next timely tip actually finds your garden when it matters most. Shrub 4 is Potentilla, and its strength is not one dramatic week of bloom. Its strength is stamina. While many shrubs finish their display and become green background, Potentilla keeps producing flowers from early summer until the first hard frost. In a practical garden, that kind of endurance matters. Potentilla fruticosa, often called shrubby cinquefoil, has small, open flowers that look a little like wild roses. The show is not huge and theatrical like Panicle hydrangea, but it is steady. Abbott's wood gives you clean white flowers over blue-green foliage, and it looks especially sharp in front of a dark Ninebark. Happy Face yellow stays compact, usually around 2 feet, with cheerful yellow flowers that brighten dry, sunny spaces. Pink Beauty is softer, useful when strong yellow would fight with the rest of the planting. The common mistake is assuming a low-maintenance shrub needs no renewal. After 5 or 6 years, unpruned Potentilla can develop a crowded woody center. Flowering drops, stems weaken, and the plant starts to look older than it really is. The fix is simple. Every 3 or 4 years, remove the oldest woody stems all the way to the ground. If the whole shrub has become tired, cut it back to about 6 inches in early spring. It may look severe for a few weeks, but by midsummer it usually fills out again and keeps blooming. Give Potentilla full sun. Shade reduces flowers fast. Lean soil, rocky ground, slopes, cold winters, and dry stretches are all conditions it handles well. Hardy in zones 2 through 7. It is one of the safest flowering shrubs for northern gardens, where other colorful options often fail after severe winters. Shrub 5 is Viburnum, and the reason many gardeners skip it is simple. The group is huge, so shopping without a target feels confusing. Instead of trying to understand every Viburnum, start with 2 that solve clear garden problems. Korean spice Viburnum is the fragrance choice. In spring, it opens clusters of white to pale pink flowers with a sweet, spicy scent that can compete with lilac. Because it usually blooms a little later than many early shrubs, it extends the fragrant season instead of repeating what your garden already has. It grows slowly to about 5 or 6 feet, making it easier to place near a porch, gate, path, or bedroom window where the scent can actually be noticed. In fall, the foliage often turns rich burgundy red. Hardy in zones 4 through 8. Arrowwood Viburnum is the wildlife and adaptability choice. It is native to eastern and central North America, handles clay, wet soil, partial shade, and ordinary garden conditions. and becomes especially valuable in fall when blue-black berries feed migrating birds. If your yard has a damp edge or a difficult mixed border, arrowwood is often more useful than a fussier ornamental shrub, hardy in zones 3 through 9. Here is the practical detail people miss. Many viburnums produce their best berries only when a second genetically different compatible variety is planted nearby. One shrub may bloom beautifully, but set very little fruit. Two compatible plants can turn the same space into a fall food station for birds. Prune viburnum immediately after spring bloom, not in fall and not in early spring. Many flower on old wood, so late pruning can remove next year's display before it starts. Before you plant any of these shrubs, use 3 simple design rules. First, arrange height in a triangle, not a straight line. A row of shrubs all the same size reads like a hedge, even if the plants are beautiful. Put the tallest plant toward the back, a medium shrub beside or slightly forward, and the lowest one at the front edge. Panicle hydrangea behind Weigela with Potentilla in front instantly looks designed. Second, build around foliage contrast, not just flowers. Flowers create a moment. Leaves carry the garden for months. Dark Ninebark beside golden Potentilla or burgundy Weigela beside blue-green Viburnum gives you interest even when nothing is blooming. That is how a border keeps looking intentional in August, September, and even after bloom season is over. Third, use odd numbers in informal beds. 3 Potentillas along a path look natural. 2 look unfinished. 3, 5, or 7 repeat the plant enough to make the choice feel confident. The eye reads repetition as purpose, not accident, especially in looser cottage-style plantings overall. Drop your USDA zone and tell me which shrub would fix the biggest empty spot in your garden right now. I read every comment, and those zones help shape future videos. If one choice became clearer today, subscribe before you go. Practical, season-sensitive gardening advice comes out every week, and the next video is already on the way.